I'm glad you've clicked on this video because there are some things about Etsy SEO that you just really need to know. To be precise, there are 5 facts that can have a massive effect on how you understand Etsy SEO and whether or not you can use it to actually be successful on the platform or not. So if you're struggling to rank high in the Etsy search engines, or you're not quite getting the sales volumes that you would expect, then I absolutely guarantee that once you've heard these 5 facts about Etsy SEO, you'll have all the knowledge you need to finally start taking your products to the top pages of Etsy. And with that, you'll start seeing the traffic that your amazing products deserve. Okay, what's up team? It's Alfie here. And I personally own an Etsy store that sees sales figures like these. So you know there's some absolutely amazing Etsy advice coming. And let's jump straight into Etsy SEO fact number 1 now that you need to know. And this is the importance of the FYP page. Okay, so FYP stands for the For You page on Etsy. So this is just a page that you're first going to be presented with when you first log on to the platform. And it plays a massive role in getting your products in front of more potential buyers, which we can massively use to our advantage. So basically, when you're shopping on Etsy and you click on a product, whether you buy that product or not, the chances are the next time that you log on to Etsy, you'll be presented with very similar products straight in front of you on your For You page on the homepage of Etsy. And more often than not, a lot of these products are going to be from either the same supplier or they're going to be very similar to the previous products that you've clicked on. So you've probably noticed this yourself, and it also actually applies to searches. So say for example, yesterday you're shopping on Etsy and you clicked on some items from a certain shop, but you didn't actually buy anything. So then the next time you log on to Etsy, you'll see similar or the same products from that shop show up on your For You page. And then if you actually search for the same search terms again, there's a very high chance that Etsy are going to present to you right at the top of searches the same item that you clicked on yesterday or some other very similar items from the exact same shop. So to use this to our advantage, we need to get our products in front of as many eyes as possible just so that we can get that first click. And by far the best way that I find to do this is through Etsy ads. So try allocating just a small budget if you can for Etsy ads, even if it's just to advertise your one best-selling item, because the goal here is to just get people to click on a item from your store so that you can maximize your chance of getting that first click on your item. And then in the preceding days or weeks, if somebody's still looking for a similar item, you'll get either that item re-shown to the potential buyer or similar items from your store shown back to them again. So the goal is to just get as many items as you can from your store recommended to shoppers via the For You page and at the top of searches. Okay, so moving on to the next Etsy SEO fact that you need to know now, and this is that 95% of sellers on Etsy are not conducting keyword research. Yep, so you heard that right. One of the most important strategies for good Etsy SEO practices is just totally neglected by a massive proportion of sellers on the platform. So of course we can use this information to get a massive competitive advantage. So I've done plenty of videos on my channels before showing revenue spikes that I've had when I first started using keyword research tools. So I know it works, and it's honestly one of my biggest recommendations for you. So to be carrying out proper keyword research, you just need to be using a professional keyword research app. And pretty much every research app has a free version that you can use at the start. So there's literally no excuse for this, guys. The app that I personally use is one called Everbee. And basically you just start typing in keywords on the app that's relevant to your niche, and it will show you the search volumes versus the competition. So the ideal here is that you want to try and find as many keywords as possible in your niche that have high searches and low competition. And Everbee is absolutely great for this because it does this calculation for you and it gives you what's known as a keyword score. So this keyword score is displayed on the right hand side, and essentially the higher the score means that this ratio of search volumes to low competition is much better. And Everbee have really kindly sponsored today's video, so if you want to try out any of their plans, including the free plan, then you just want to check out the link in the video description. But remember, as I literally always say on this channel, don't feel pressured to use anything and only use keyword and research apps that you feel comfortable using. Okay, so the next Etsy SEO fact that you just need to know is that your SEO practices don't matter at all if your thumbnail images suck. So you could literally have the best SEO practices in the world. Perfect titles, perfect keywords, perfect tags, perfect product description. But if no one's clicking on your thumbnail images, then all of this literally won't matter at all. So for the best thumbnail practices, and what I personally recommend to get your thumbnails to stand out as much as possible, is to simply just use a blurred background. And this can very easily be done on pretty much any smartphone nowadays just by flicking over to the portrait setting or the cinematic setting, depending on your phone. But yeah, the end goal in your imagery is to just get your product front and center and to get it to pop out of the picture as much as possible. And the real key is to just not skimp out on the amount of time that you're actually spending on your thumbnail images, because you have to be sure that they're standing out against the competition and that they stand out on the busy Etsy homepage. So honestly, this is neglected by so many Etsy sellers, and I have the pleasure of reviewing a lot of Etsy shops, so I literally see this day in, day out. Your thumbnail images are so important. Okay, so moving on to the next Etsy SEO fact that you need to know now, and this is how much title optimization actually matters. So this is one that not many people actually know. So Etsy places much more emphasis on the first 40 characters of your title compared to the rest of your title. So it's extremely important to put your most valuable keywords right at the start. So not only will this help with the ranking of that keyword on Etsy, but on certain devices, after you hit the 40 character mark, it starts to go to ... which means that anybody who's shopping on Etsy and they're seeing your product pop up, they're only gonna see the first 40 characters of your title anyway. And then of course, just make sure that the keywords you're using at the start actually draw attention and they actually suck the customers in to click on your product. So moving on to the next Etsy SEO fact now, and this is how much your shop reputation actually affects your SEO scoring. So I'm sorry guys, but there's literally no getting away from this one. If you haven't got many reviews, or if your review score is 4 stars or under, then this just simply will harm your SEO scoring. So you just got to simplify it and think, what is the main purpose of Etsy? Well, in my mind, the main purpose of Etsy is to simply just get as many shoppers onto the platform as possible, make as many sales on the platform, and then to make sure that the customers are happy with what they've bought, so they return and they buy more products on Etsy. So this is why Etsy needs to make sure that their customers are satisfied with the products they're buying. So if you give Etsy a choice of a product that's got 5-star reviews, loads of sales history, and is really trusted, compared to maybe a newer product with a review score of 4 stars or below and not that many sales, which product do you think Etsy is gonna want to promote to the buyer more? Chances are it's probably gonna be the more trusty product. So this is why it's extremely important, especially in your first year of Etsy, to get as many reviews coming in as possible. So get family and friends to leave reviews, and make sure that you're asking for reviews on pretty much every sale that you make. It's honestly just gonna help you out so much in the long run, I promise you. It makes a huge difference. Because like I always say, trust equals sales. And just following on from this, I've actually got something really interesting to tell you. So there's actually a really high chance that a lot of what you've previously been told about Etsy SEO is one big lie. And if you don't believe me, then you might want to check out this video down here. But otherwise, thanks so much for watching this video. I wish you all the very best of your Etsy journeys, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, guys.